Do we get a countdown?
It's Thursday! Woo!
We haven't got a mic on. Haven't we? No?
No, don't. No. What are we doing this week?
There's no sound on here.
Where's
He's
the
turned it off.
microphone?
No, there is sound.
Where's the microphone? Evie's getting it. Oh, good.
What are we doing this week? Speyside
This
Whisky.
week we're doing Speyside Whisky, aren't we, Roscoe? We are. Whose decision was that? I don't know. Me! Oh, is that right? I won this one.
So where are we today, Luke? Why are we somewhere different?
Today we're in front of the whiskey wall because we just wanted to change things up.
Luke got bored.
I got
He's
bored.
moved everything around
So,
so he can see the whiskey wall.
woo! Well,
Right,
it's
can you
not
jump
silly
in
to
and
be
just share
tasting
them with
whiskey and not be able to see our hundreds of whiskies. So, anyway, that's
Now,
fun.
Rachel,
Here's me. How are
We do have some technical difficulties this week, so give us a couple of minutes and we're going to
They can hear.
get online.
But we're still putting the microphone on anyway.
Beautiful. Lovely.
cool.
Is anyone else excited about this week, Ross?
Oh, I'm excited about this week. This has been the most exciting week of my life.
Too exciting, you might say.
I'm going to all my favourite nightclubs, all my favourite bars and restaurants in my head.
This is your favourite bar.
Well, I was just saying, I haven't been behind a bar in months, and the only way to get behind a bar is to build your own this week. So, in the Wig Cellar, we have built our own bar, the Whiskey Bar, and yeah, that's what's happening this
Yes, Steve, we are well.
week. We are all good.
Hi,
and well.
General Donaldson. How are you?
Sorry, I'm just taking you off the stand a bit. Ha! We're going rogue.
Everyone, we're going rogue.
And so we've had technical difficulties. We're getting really technical.
Oh, we're just a bit of jigging, you know.
Apologies.
Oh, we're fine.
Are we?
Oh, beautiful. We've got everything going today.
Water.
So, Speyside Whisky. Speyside Whisky is technically the youngest of the regions of Scottish whisky. So, if you know anything about Scotland and where the whisky regions are, you'll know there's Highlands, Lowlands, Islay, and there's some other islands and bits and bobs.
And then there's Speyside.
And then Speyside was created. Speyside was previously part of Highland, the Highland region, but was separated from the Highland by a whole bunch of distillers and whiskey makers coming together and deciding that their whiskey actually didn't taste like the rest of Highland. So they came to a point where they decided that they wanted their own whiskey. So they separated their region out to the region to the north of Highland.
Yeah,
And
northwest.
created Speyside, named after the River Spey.
So it's a denomination.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, cool. And which one are we starting with, Luke?
We're starting with the Glenlivet.
Which turns out to be one of the bigger distilleries in the Speyside region.
Glenlivet is one of the biggest, and is, from what I understand, the closest to the River Spey.
So why did they say it was different? What did they think was different between them and Highland?
When it started, Highland got really well known for honey and grassy notes. Islay sort of stood out for their smoky, peaty sort of notes. And the Speyside distillers had this really good idea. They wanted to set themselves apart, and they'd started to make really full-bodied, fruit-forward whiskies. So, moving away from honey and grass and smoke, they're looking at red apples, green apples, pears, all of those really approachable flavours. So,
Question.
So Christine, we're starting with... Oh, yes.
starting with the Glenlivet Founders Reserve.
All that. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Question, Luke. Do they get their barley from the Speyside region, or do they just get it from the Highlands, or what is it about? Do they grow their own barley? What's the story there?
Some of them do grow their own barley. a lot of them do,
Actually, Balvenie is the only distillery to grow their own barley.
as I was about to say.
Yeah.
But apart from Balvenie, the other ones only grow a portion of their own barley. And it's sourced from certain farms around Speyside. Balvenie is the only one to actually grow all of their own barley. Let's get into it.
Nice.
What are we talking about? Colour.
Oh yeah, it looks
Gold.
Bright gold.
like a
Yeah.
bad day.
Beautiful.
That was really, really tasteless, Ross. Thank you very much.
Lovely.
Now, straight away with this,
TMI.
I get apple.
I get pear. Like a nashy pear.
I get plain pear.
Straight
I
pear.
definitely get the apple.
Yeah.
Red apple.
It's the only thing that I could think about when I was bottling all of these was like a really yummy apple juice.
Or toffee apple even.
Yeah, definitely.
So how do you get red apple flavour when it's essentially made out of
Barley.
barley? How does that happen?
It's to do with the different chemicals that are produced during the fermentation, and based also on how the grain itself is germinated. So as the grain starts to germinate and then they dry it out before fermentation, that's when you start to get all the flavour characteristics coming through.
Liz says it matches me, this the colour.
It's very Vivian yellow, as we like to call. I'm getting slight straw on the nose, which does hark back to a little bit of the Highland sort of notes.
I nearly said celery and I'm not entirely sure why.
I get,
Interesting.
now that you say it, I can't unsmell it. Doesn't mean it's real.
Celery.
It literally, the word just popped into my head. When
Yes.
I smelt it. There was something else other than the apple and the pear.
There is a little bit of sort of green botanical crispness to it.
Yeah, it doesn't smell like celery. It smells.
It reminds you of celery.
Yes, thank you. I can't wait.
You're not even sure about that.
There's almost like a white rose sort of floral botanical sort of nose to it.
Yeah,
Changes when
bit
you
of
swirl
floral.
it a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's good with a bit of air. What is everyone saying at home?
Ooh.
Jenna said a little bit of salt.
Yeah,
Yeah, I get that.
that's fair enough.
Got salted caramel.
That's not far off, Russ.
Yeah.
There's definitely
Nice.
not as much of that honey note.
She does smell like salted caramel. Not sort of sweet, but it's a little bit salty.
Creamy, almost.
But sometimes salted caramel isn't that sweet. No,
No.
that's what the salt's good for. It gets rid of that.
Sweet. What about
I'm liking the bar,
on the
Luke.
palate?
This is good. Yeah.
We can all feel like we're in a bar. Rachel and I are pretending to be in a bar, aren't we, Rachel?
Behind
Except
the camera,
Rachel-
we've set up a little
Rachel-
bar table.
Rachel hasn't got a drink.
Rachel doesn't want to.
Rachel doesn't want a drink. Okay.
All right. What are we getting in this palette?
We're going to taste it now.
Oh.
Ooh.
Didn't set up a bar for nothing.
Ooh. What is
Oh,
that?
now that's salted caramel.
There's almost like a nice
Like,
Hang on.
not honey, but
there's something else there.
yeah.
Malt.
Yeah, Christina said, I can see why you guys are getting the grassiness. I sense a mossiness to this one.
I was actually experimenting with some malt syrup the other day, and I'm having absolute
Flashback.
flashbacks.
What were you doing with malt syrup?
You know, cocktails, usual.
Wow. What is that taste?
There's almost like a pepperiness.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm gonna say pink pepper,
Ooh.
like that pink peppercorn.
Yeah.
Not necessarily spicy, but warm.
Certainly. Where would you be wanting to drink this one?
In a bar.
I feel like
Not
there's a
in
bit of
my
a
house.
theme tonight.
Yeah. We are sort of playing our little charades and pretending
Is
to
it-
be at the bar today.
Well, there's only 41 more days of this.
Don't rub it in, Russ. I don't want to know.
Well,
But yeah, where do we want to be drinking this?
This is definitely
On a thirsty Thursday.
yeah. I think this is a
This is a fire job.
not quite. I wouldn't say it's quite sitting in front of the fire. I think this is like a Friday night. You want to celebrate kind of fun whiskey.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Something bright, something spicy, something...
It's definitely bright, isn't it? When you compare it to the Highlands that we did,
Yeah.
they're bright. It's
It's
brighter.
like crisp. Yeah.
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 Slightly fruitier. Liz says she'd like it by the fire. This one.
Yeah. I will say, Speysides tend to make a really good whiskey highball.
Mm.
Slice of lemon, champion.
Would this be an appropriate whiskey for that?
Yeah.
You'd say-
Bit of soda water, slice of lemon, good to go.
Interesting.
And that's all you need for a highball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Interesting. Do we have any last comments on the Glenlivet?
Ashley likes your hair.
Thanks, Ash.
Yeah, go with a couple of drops.
And thanks, Ash, too. A big call out to Ash because Ash has
Do you want some
put
water,
us
Emma?
up for into her work to do a tasting for all of her
Colleagues.
So that will be huge fun. So we're really looking forward to that. So thanks very much for that, Ash.
Oh, yeah. Water really softens that out.
Does it?
Jenna said, on the beach and sand between my toes, all rugged up, drinking out of a hip flask. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
That is a very good description of where I want to be with this. It's bright, it's spicy, it's a little bit fun.
It's delicious.
I'm
Oh,
really
I like
enjoying
it with just like a little bit of water.
Yeah. Really good with
It's
a little bit of water.
Beautiful. Well, yeah, do we have
It
any-
does smooth it out.
Yeah.
What about, might sound right, what about sort of oysters or fish and chips or something?
It's always oysters.
I would say a couple of blocks of ice, a very small slice of lemon peel, and then a couple of oysters on the side. That'd be this. Yeah.
Okay.
It's bright enough to stand up to an oyster. Bit of acidity almost. I don't know.
Actually, it's one of the few whiskies I can imagine eating with.
Yeah.
What
goes
would you pair it with? Would you pair it with something like seafood?
No, I was thinking more of maybe meat, maybe some sort of meats, sliced meats even. Or Ashley's going to try it with venison because they tried the Merlot venison combo on Tuesday night but ran out of time and just drank the Merlot instead. Good girl. So she's going to try it tonight with the venison, so it'll be interesting to see. So Ashley, let us know if it goes with venison. That wasn't what I was thinking. I was thinking of sort of maybe sliced cured meats. Sort
Goose or duck or...
of something.
Oh yeah.
You reckon?
If you duck and
Why is
goose
that?
specifically gamey of birds go really well with fruit like plum sauce, all sorts of things like that. If you had a
Pork.
nice plum sauce to go with your duck or
Or
your pork or your
This
goose,
would go very nicely with
this
pork.
bright, crisp whiskey could cut through all of that.
Yeah, that's true.
What are we all?
Especially with like the sort of like the pear and the apple to go with the pork.
Yeah.
I'm
That's what
getting
I'm
a little
thinking.
bit of orange peel on the nose now that I've added water.
Actually, pork would, yeah, I get it.
Is anyone else getting anything different on the nose?
Josh has said, I'm always going to think of shortbread.
Good for him.
Well,
I can
well, that's
neither
right. Has anybody ever had nightmares about shortbread? That's the other question.
Don't think so.
I haven't.
Well, do we have any last comments about the Glenlivet?
It's good.
Good?
It's good.
Solid.
Well, for an entry level kind of thing, that's very drinkable.
Beautiful. So, Ash, we're about to move on to the Benromach. This is a 10-year-old, isn't it?
It is. So
I'm looking forward to
beautiful.
this. I haven't had any Benromach for a long time.
Oh, Ashley says you've chimed in late. Ashley, we've just tasted the Glenlivet. That's the one that we thought might go with the venison. And we're about to taste the Benromach.
10-year-old.
Jen is eating it with shortbread. There you go. Chocolate chip Is chocolate chip shortbread allowed? I thought shortbread had very strict rules with that stuff.
It's not like Scotch. It doesn't have to be...
Denomination.
I don't know.
Not sure about that.
Mm.
No, what do we know about these guys?
Otherwise, it's just sparkling biscuit.
Oh,
Sorry, everybody.
That was terrible.
It was bad.
Okay, what do we know about these guys?
I don't know a whole lot about Benromach, to be honest. These guys have been around for a very long time. 1898, from what I hear.
Okay.
Did they forget to put stuff on the label, so they had to scribble on the bottle?
They've changed labels quite a few times.
If you can see the label, there's not much of a label. There's just writing written on it. Is what
Vivian,
Vivian
have you
means.
got one?
Oh, it's a nice, like almost a slight pinky tinge to that.
I almost think it's a bit greeny.
Yeah,
It's a different colour from the last one.
Yeah, certainly.
All right,
Quite
now,
a better day.
Liz says this one is smoking.
yeah, if you've got this anywhere near your nose,
Whoa.
you will recognise.
That is quite different.
Whoa. Okay, yeah, that is rather.
Highland whiskey tends to avoid smoke. Speyside, all bets are off. So
You can do whatever you want.
they made their own whiskey style, and they will do whatever they want with it.
What is that?
Mm.
Do you
Alright.
get like almost like a smoky, meaty kind of?
Yeah, that's
Smell?
smoked meat smell.
Salt,
Yeah.
like salted hamon or
Yeah.
prosciutto, like
Yes.
really salty.
But in a big piece. Like,
Slap.
no.
Yeah.
it's like they in Spain they carve
Hamon.
carve it off the hamon. They carve it off this enormous thing in a frame, and
A
then they
full leg of it.
yeah.
It's almost reminding me of those like really salty cured Italian sausages.
Okay.
Yeah, I get that.
Mm. Anything?
Ross has got his thinking face on.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Doesn't happen often.
I will also say this is
It's just an act, you know.
this is
I'm
a
not thinking anything. I'm just stupid.
this is a 43% ABV, so
Ah.
a little bit more
Bang for your buck.
bang for your buck. Dare
Jen
I say
says,
it.
love it when there is almost like a cigar smoke smell. Mm.
Yeah, cigar smoke's a good bet.
Yeah, Christina says it's like smoked brisket.
Is it iodine or
Iodine, yeah.
sort of-
Breakfast whiskey. Oh, Josh, with
With-
porridge.
with
oh,
Oh, yeah.
Well, that would be a day and a half.
I can get
straight back to bed.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Now, what about?
What a COVID cleanser.
Indeed. Now, what about? Are we moving on to palate?
I'm still getting into the nose. That smokiness that you can. I think it needs. I'll get to water in a minute.
Interesting. Well, I'm going to move on to the palate.
Iodine. I'm definitely getting iodine or phenolic.
Cool.
Ooh,
Oh, that's spicy.
that is rather spicy. What is that?
That's no. It's almost a chili kind of smoked chili.
I
flavour.
really
Oh, yes,
like
like
this.
smoked paprika kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or those Mexican, those Mexican smoked
Black
chilies.
chilies. Smoked black chilies.
What are they?
Ancho chilies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and Christina says definite sweetness of this one. See, when I was smelling it, I was like, I don't think I'm going to like the taste of this one because it is so smoky. But there's just like
It doesn't,
such a
it
different.
doesn't taste like it smells.
No, it doesn't. Not at
There's
all.
a bit of honey on the front palate, which is interesting, and then it goes full into spice.
But it's smooth at the
And
smooth
quite
in the back, and when it's finished afterwards, the aftertaste is really
Really smooth, yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
I think I'm with
lingers
Eve on this
for
one.
quite a while.
When I was smelling it, thinking I'm not sure how much I'm going to like drinking this, but
No.
it's quite different on the palate.
Certainly.
Oh, whoa!
Christina says getting nutmeg and a bit of vanilla.
A sip of water is really interesting.
Rub that thing out.
Yeah, you can use your own water. I've
Oh,
contaminated
okay.
mine now.
What's everyone else getting at home?
I'm getting like almost underripe red apple, like that powdery sour red apple. You know, there's like really dark red apples. That's what I'm getting.
Oh yeah.
Oh, again, just a little bit of water really smooths it out.
Oh, lifts up the middle palate a lot, the drop of water.
Yeah, it does.
The honey's come back in now, which is interesting.
I'm trying to think of what it's like.
There's definitely some interesting notes on the palate.
That's really complex. There's a lot going on.
There is a lot. I really like that one. That's tasty.
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 There's a almost like that buttery,
Yeah.
butterscotchy, creamy.
I think that's also where that shortbread sort of comes from. You know, good shortbread leaves you with that butter, not just the taste, but the texture.
The texture. It's
Oily
definitely got
texture.
that texture. Reckon this is more the shortbread whiskey here. Is that the story?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
orange peel and like a little bit of cinnamon in there as well, I think.
Yeah, Jenna says definite like width and mouth. Oh, sorry, mouth
Well,
filling.
Very mouth-filling.
Flavor with like a little bit of water.
Yeah.
Oh, and Janet, she came to the store the other day,
Oh,
yeah.
and she smells some olives, like that salty. Well, not
Oh,
salty,
there's-
but
yeah.
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 I get that.
I get that.
That's a good get.
Yeah.
Actually, I was just bottling olives this morning. The smell.
fresh off the tree.
Yeah, fresh off your tree, yes.
Beautiful. Now, where do we want to be drinking this one?
Ooh. This is like,
In the bath.
I don't know about that
You
one.
don't do baths.
I don't do baths, but there you go. In the bath.
So you wouldn't drink it?
I think this is like
I didn't say put any water in the bath.
Okay.
whiskey, that's a different matter.
Yeah.
I think this is like a quiet, slow afternoon whiskey. Do you, like, not quite evening, sun going down, a little bit of this to kick off the night. I'd be quite happy with that.
I reckon this might be the venison job. This one.
Really?
Bit of smokiness, bit of fruit,
Yeah, that might be nice.
bit of
with venison.
spice.
We'll have to get Ashley to report back. I'm not expecting her to eat her venison pie while we're doing this.
Oh, she said she'll get back to you.
Yeah.
This is going to sound really pretentious, but
No.
there's
Really?
Spoiler alert.
that
Watch
olive,
out.
that olivey note
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
kind of a little bit junipery on the palate.
Oh yeah, I get it.
If you know what juniper
Okay.
tastes like, straight juniper. But
I do actually. It's actually don't do it.
no, it's like that sour, bitter berry sort of.
Okay, interesting.
The spice is still there. It moves out with water, but the spice is still there. It's really interesting spice. I like it.
Now, what I want to know with Speyside in particular, what are the main? Well, yeah, we've already talked about main characteristics, but what do they actually physically do to make it so different?
That's a very well kept secret,
Ugh.
from what I understand. From what I understand, there's a further germination of the barley.
Mhm.
So they get a little bit more sort of fruit, grassy. Well, not grassy is not the right term, but fruit and complexity from a little bit more germination.
Okay.
They tend to not dry it as much. So some whiskies, after germination, they dry the grain out to almost desiccation.
Yes.
These guys don't as much, which is why they decided to name it after the River Spey, because originally they used Spey River water to germinate the grain.
Right.
So it was about the idea that this was
About the water.
about the water as well.
Do they use different yeasts? Do you think?
I don't know that, unfortunately.
Secrets.
But I suspect they may do.
Because I think you'll find
It's very
from
different.
some distillers I've talked to, the yeast can be pretty important. Matching the yeast with the grain.
Yeah. Okay.
Christine wants to be drinking this in a dark bar or a cigar-filled poker night.
That's what I reckon
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Like in someone's,
We're
like
all
in
coming.
a cellar or a hidden bar or somewhere dark where you can't quite hear
I could
what's
just turn the
someone.
lights off. We are in a cellar. We are, in fact, in
with
a
like
hidden bar.
with like a live band and
Yeah,
like
live
jazz bluesy.
blues band in the background in
Yeah.
a basement bar where I can't quite hear the person across from
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Do you know, like,
Pardon?
yeah. With Ross, that's a lot easier.
And the bar staff are rude to you. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, now we're at the back bar at Chucho's.
I can be rude to you.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
Josh is back to breakfast. Andy and I are still thinking breakfast, porridge, and he says fry up, eggs, tomato, sausage, mushroom.
sounds like people have the day off tomorrow, doesn't it?
Black pudding. Ah, now we're talking.
Now we're talking.
Damn.
Hey Josh, I reckon you should stay at home for a few days. and calm down.
Actually, I totally get it. This with some smoky bacon, like old school English smoky streaky bacon.
Yeah.
that salty, smoky, spicy, juicy.
Definitely.
So what are vegans supposed to make with it?
Well, even like I haven't eaten bacon in years and years, and I taste that. It tastes like bacon. So I guess that's the fix.
You better have some bacon.
Get some
No, she
bacon.
doesn't
Well,
like
yeah,
that
you
bacon
don't
'cause
need
she's-
to.
'cause she's
That's
vegan,
enough.
isn't it?
Get some soy bacon or just drink this.
Hello, Melanie Kent.
Melanie Kent is on. Hello.
Fantastic. Well, do we have any last comments on the Benromach?
I'm really glad to see some spice
Yeah,
coming out of this.
Nice.
impressed.
Yeah.
We like.
You know.
Now, shall we move on to
I'm getting some. Now smelling, I'm getting some caramel now, actually.
some caramel? There you go. Fantastic.
Maple syrup.
We're moving on
Maybe
to
that's where the breakfast stuff comes
the Balvenie Double 12-year-old.
from. What does double wood mean?
Means it was aged in 2 different barrels. So with these guys, they do 12 years in traditional casks. So they do the American oak ex-bourbon hogshead.
Whatever it is, yeah.
Yes, and then they do 9 months in the Spanish oak, the ex-sherry casks, and then for 3 to 4 months they put it into big oak tons to marry the flavours together.
So there's actually 3 woods, not 2.
Two casks.
The vat would be.
Okay.
It's large.
Yeah, it's a very
Jen
large.
is putting herself on the line. She's prepared to do Irish streaky bacon with it in the morning.
Jen,
we've
good
got
job.
Edge online as well, and he's also and then he said what I said. There you go. Got my facts right. That's good.
Woohoo!
Champion. Alright, are we all...
Well, Edge is online.
Now also
We've
what
got Edge, we've got some Balvenie in hand. Too easy.
Now, also, what I thought was interesting with these guys, their malt master has been working for 55 years. He started working with them when he was 17 years old. There you go.
What are they going to do when he wants to retire?
He's not going to. And
Well,
it took 10 years for him to perfect the double wood
there you go.
process.
And these guys started in 1892.
Yes.
So the wigs. Cheers.
Cheers.
There you go.
Oh, and this is a
very
much
different
deeper
colour.
colour.
This is much
Orange.
more tokay looking.
Yeah, sherry colour. Really.
There you go.
Might be pulling from a little bit more age in the barrel, and obviously maybe some sherry as well.
You definitely get that complexity. You can smell different sort of layers of...
The fruit
Stuff.
on the nose comes back in, which is quite...
Yeah, definitely. I'm getting that apple again. But quite tart apple.
This is a greener apple, I think.
Oh.
Do you think?
Well, it might be a red apple, but it's as Eva says, it's not
I'm
ripe.
getting, like, crisp pink lady
Yeah,
gala apple.
that kind of apple.
A little bit sweet, a little bit tart. Oh, yeah.
It's delicious.
The nose is really complex. It has that malty character to it.
But it's quite...
Subtle.
yeah, definitely.
There's almost some allspice as well.
Apparently the Balvenie is the most handcrafted of single malts.
Who said
What
that?
do they mean?
Edge.
Edge said that. What do they mean by that, I wonder?
Yeah.
How is that quantifiable is what I want to know.
It's just like...
How many times they bloody well put their fingers in it.
Actually, they test it every 6 months as well.
There you go.
Yeah. There you go.
Lucky there's any whiskey left.
I was going to say, just as an excuse, we're just testing.
Yeah,
What
we're
do you
lucky
know?
that me and Ross
Whiskey.
aren't in charge of doing that every 6 months. There wouldn't be any whiskey left.
Yeah, Lisa said major apple with this one. And Christine
Maple.
said like toasty and nutty. No, major apple.
Maple.
Oh, maple.
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 I'm getting maple.
Yeah. Josh has said, now this is an evening whiskey. Lovely depth. I want to sit by the fire with this.
Thank
I wanna-
God, I was worried he was going to have 3 whiskeys with breakfast.
Well, I'm going to swap with you there because I want to be eating this with maple syrup on pancakes.
Ooh.
That
Oh,
maple.
we've been doing a baked porridge recently.
Ooh, okay.
Interesting.
Oh, rice pudding for dessert.
And Christina said, yes, I get what you mean, Luke. A bit of nutmeg.
Yeah, that's good call. I'm going to
It's a
dive
bit
in.
of like nutmeg, cinnamony, sort of with the whole apple theme.
I don't get cinnamon so much from this,
No, I
Yeah.
get the nutmeg.
and the allspice.
Actually, it's mace, you know.
I don't know about
Oh.
nice, but
Perhaps more cinnamon on the palate, perhaps.
Mm.
Josh is now having
Well, that's
more
spice.
dessert. Josh is having pancakes after dinner by the fire. Got all the
Yes.
basic breakfast food groups in there.
I'm definitely going on to maple syrup and pancakes with ice cream or a knob of really good salty butter.
Jenna said yes, the fruit from the Oloroso. She's definitely getting that. And Stephen has said getting the maple syrup with that too.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
Janet has like a subtle smoky maple and a touch of caramel.
Yeah, I'm gonna add a bit
I'm
of water
getting
to
a
this.
touch of apricots in there too, in the middle.
Ooh, a bit of like dried fruit sort of thing.
Oh yeah,
Which will be the sherry cask, won't it?
even
Yeah.
Blue cheese,
Certainly.
apparently, Edge says.
Blue cheese? Yeah. I think we're on it.
Mm.
Oh, by the way, congratulations, Ed. Your teaser video was
Oh,
sensational. We
yeah.
all loved it.
Fantastic.
We've had everybody ring up saying how well star you are. Okay.
All the messages.
One of the other reps said you were showing off, make it hard for everybody else.
Good. Raise the bar, I say.
Raise the bar.
Build the bar.
build a bar.
Ta-da.
Here's
No.
one I prepared an hour and
Earlier.
a half, no, 2 hours ago.
We need to have a fire now.
I'm
Give it
almost
there.
getting the dried apricots, but I'm also getting a bit of almost dried cranberry. That sort of tart.
Oh yeah. Interesting. Yeah,
Yum.
Edge has just said, "Step up the game, step up the game." Indeed.
Mm.
I don't think I want to put any water in this.
Oh, well, that means I'm going to have to now.
Oh, I
1,
have.
2, 3,
And?
4.
I quite like it with the water. It does make it slightly softer.
Well, it seems to open it up a bit.
I feel like with the Highland, it was sometimes risky to put a.
It could
water
kill.
in.
It could kill your flavors.
But with this one, I think it works.
I think you've got enough flavor in the Speysides that it doesn't ruin it.
Certainly.
This is the bit of water is opening up that smoky bacon on the nose. Is anyone else getting anything else? How do we feel?
Oh, yeah. I think all of them have been better with a couple of drops of water, actually.
Which is
It really does release it.
what's the percentage on this one actually?
This one's just a straight 40%.
40%.
Tastes a bit spicier than that, but they do pack a lot of flavour into, into one
Yum.
whiskey.
Oh, the aftertaste is just... You almost don't need to have another mouthful because you want to have
Yeah.
it. Do you know what I mean?
The aftertaste.
Oh, with a bit of water and a bit of air, that I want to be eating with like really crusty apple pie, like
Ooh.
buttery, flaky pastry, cinnamon, maybe a pinch of salt on top.
Interesting.
That's where I want to be.
Well,
Wow.
with some ice cream, I reckon.
Yeah, French vanilla ice cream with a big crusty apple
Or
pie,
just that really thick cream.
or like a whipped butter.
Oh, so we're moving towards the blue cheese again, aren't we?
Yeah. Sorry, we're getting a bit carried away here. I think we're all going to go home and eat ourselves to death.
We're all going to go around to Ash's place, pretend we're delivering something and pinch some of it.
Gate crusher venison party.
Beautiful.
Does anyone else have any tasting notes to add to this? Where would you like to be?
Edge has said, if you love chocolate, drop a small piece in the glass. When you finish the whiskey, eat the chocolate. Interesting.
Now that's what I call a mixed drink.
Now, do we have any last comments
Ross
on
is
the
getting
Balvenie
very leaning on the bar, relaxed.
Oh, well,
Haven't
when have
made
we been, when have in the last bloody 2 months we've been able to lean on the bar and just have a drink and talk shit? I mean, really? Guns teeth. Sorry, I've been trying to keep it in, but it's not working.
Well, this opportunity is brought to you by the wig seller and a whole lot of furniture moving.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Lou. That's good. Good.
If you can't go to a
Refresh.
bar, build your own bar and then get paid to sit at it. How about that? I think I pulled that one off
Get
pretty well.
JobKeeper to see that.
Shh.
Beautiful.
Yum, yum, yum.
Now, do we have... What are the main points for each whiskey, would you say?
Oh, okay.
Warming up.
Yeah, warming up. What does everyone reckon over here?
The Glenlivet,
Apples.
apples, 100%.
Apples, bright fruit.
What cocktail did you say?
Like a nice highball.
Highball.
Slice
okay.
of lemon. This one, this bad boy, lots of bit of spice in there. Bit of smokiness.
A little bit of smoke, yeah.
I would even say that would make a really good old fashioned.
Yeah, okay.
A little bit of sugar, dash of orange bitters, call it a day. This bad boy,
On its own.
don't mess with it.
Yeah. I wouldn't be mixing that with anything.
Just
Yeah.
drink it.
Apple pie, short crust pastry, bit of chocolate,
Yeah.
Blue cheese.
blue cheese, yeah.
Blue cheese with the first glass and then chocolate in the second.
What about blue cheese and some dried fruit?
Yep.
Some muscatels would be really good.
Well, do we have any last comments on Speyside at all?
Flavour. Packed with
Flavour.
flavour. Bit of fruit, bit of spice, bit of smoke, bit of maltiness.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yum, yum, yum.
Fantastic. And Janet has said, have you guys got any plans to do Japanese whiskey? We certainly do at some stage.
It's on our list.
But we have only just started doing whiskey, so we've got lots
Now,
in the future.
If we do want to do Japanese whiskey, price point is
Yeah, they're a bit.
an
they're a bit-
interesting conversation because they're pretty rare and they can be pretty pricey.
And they often come in 500ml bottles.
Not 700ml bottles, which, yeah, a bit tricky. But we'll work it out. We can do it.
But yeah, we will figure out.
Nothing is beyond the realm of possibility.
Fantastic. Well, moving on to what we're doing next
week
is pepper gin. We have got...
So we decided this next week
Hi guys.
we'd talk about gins with some different botanicals. So,
And we found all these, although they didn't call them pepper gins per se, they all have
They've
Pepper
got
kind of flavours.
elements of pepper.
talking
Yum.
about gin and New World gin and botanical gin, there's lots of different botanicals, and Australia, particularly starting with things like Tasmanian gin, started the popular trend of pepperberry. And from there, pepper.
Pepper.
So
Beautiful.
we've got Sichuan pepper, pink pepper, mountain pepper.
And we'll continue it next week.
Yeah,
Don't give it all away.
indeed. And what's after that? Have we
I
decided?
think we have spoken of doing wine again.
Yeah.
So it'll be a wine. But yes, as you
It'll
guys
have
know...
to be a red wine. We've done.
Yes,
What
we
have
are.
we done?
We are doing
I guess it's time for Shiraz.
But yes, we...
Shiraz?
Shiraz.
Shiraz.
Done.
Cool.
As you know, we will be staying open because we're seen as an essential service and we're delivering as much as possible. So please let us know if you need any things like that. We're also starting corporate tastings.
Or private tastings.
And we've got a whole
Yes.
menu of things for private tastings.
So if you'd like us to run a small tasting for 7 or more of you and your friends or colleagues,
6 or more.
6 or more of your friends or colleagues, we have organised so that we have some red wines, some whiskies, some gins and some white wines
But we can make
all
something
lined up.
Yep.
And if not, we can tailor it to you. So anything is possible.
Yeah.
And if you would like to do that, either send us an email or you can inquire through the tasting page on our website at
Or give us a call.
Drinksmiths.
Yeah, talk to us. We like to talk to people. We're going a bit mad here.
We like people.
Beautiful.
But yeah, let us know if you need a drink and
People.
we can sort
We,
something
yeah,
out.
we saw people once.
Lovely.
Awesome. All right, guys.
Cheers.
Stay
Well, you'll
safe,
see us
stay
next week.
inside.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.